So here we are a couple of weeks later, and yeah, I should point out this isn't really a how-to, it's more of a what happened. So if my if my family find this next to my skeletal remains, I love you all dearly. I know I wasn't as smart as I thought I was. So here's the problem. I need to get this thing up onto these accurately without bending them, without causing too much strain to that, without putting too much strain on myself. I've left the shuttering on for the time being, this wooden stuff, because it will give me something if I need to attach and hold like wood in place to make sure it doesn't slip out while things are being lifted. It gives me something to attach to. So my surface is pretty good, but there's some little lumps and bumps in there, and I'm hoping that these will give me enough squish that I can adjust things without having to use shims, although it might well come to that. And it won't be too much of a problem. So to help me lift it, I've got jacks and all sorts of bits and pieces. I'm tempted to try it on my own, although I think basically I think I need to get some help in. I had a look downstairs now in the very wet and soggy basement we've got down here. We've had stored this thing, which is an engine hoist. Luckily, although it looks rusty as hell and the wheels won't turn, they will turn forwards and backwards, but they won't sort of turn left and right. Well, that's okay, we only need to come backwards. All the working parts seem to be okay, like there's no rust on the actual working parts, and it's taken my weight bouncing up and down on it with absolutely no problem, and I feel a lot more confident kind of suspending the thing from above, because then I don't have to be underneath it, whereas if I jack it I'm going to have to sort of have myself and my fingers and all sorts of things. The other thing is if I'm suspending it, it's much less likely to tip on me. So here I am, head scratching stage at the moment, and I'll make up a bridle either of rope, or I've got some lifting straps and carabiners and bits and pieces. So I need to attach onto this in places which aren't going to hurt the lathe at all, so I'm probably going to take this e-stop off and use this cast iron base here to attach to, make a bridle. Alright, catch you in a bit. So I've got the bridle set up, and I am just going to go and give it a quick practice run, just to see if we can take the weight and to see just exactly how sketchy all of this is. So yeah, I might need to reshift these around, but at the moment I've got it on a couple of places where it's not bearing on the ways or anything else important. I think around this other side is quite difficult because I've got lots of bits and pieces going on around here, but the actual weight should be taken here, and then this is just bearing on the casing, which itself isn't pushing on anything particularly important. So I'm just going to give it a quick lifty and see how we go. Alright, see you in a bit. Okay, so I've just got it sort of taking weight, and I don't know if you can see here, but it's just taking the weight, but it's wanting to tip it out to the side, so I'm going to have to let her down gently and retie the bridle in a slightly better way, just so that it's lifting straight up rather than tipping out to the side first. The other problem that I've got is that I'm running out of lift back here, but that's okay. I think I can move this section down to here and give myself like another foot's worth of lift. So I'll do that and I'll come back. Okay, so I shifted down one notch down on the back here, which gives me quite a lot of lift back here, and I've rearranged the bridle. This isn't ideal, but it's okay. Everything's well overrated and pretty much brand new. This is a steel beanie as well. I'm bearing a little bit on the case, but I don't think there's an awful lot of avoiding that, and I'm not too worried as the main weight will be taken by the base down here. And as it stands, unbolted to the floor. This thing's pretty much useless, so anything I can do for it is going to be a bonus, and I'm going to be going through this thing bit by bit and cleaning everything, changing out bearings and giving her the attention she deserves. Anyway, I'm going to let it back down to the ground now. You can see it's just floating here. So I'm just going to let it back down to the ground and go and have a cup of tea, call a friend, and see if I can get a favour. So I've sped up the footage just so it's not quite as boring for people. You can see what's going on, you can slow it down if you need to see the details. Basically we got it in without too much bother. Yeah, my poor template kind of did give me some problems, and you can see that I had to smack some of the bolts around a little bit. Thankfully I'd left the concrete long enough that it held. If the concrete was still soft and I tried to give the bolts that kind of abuse, it would just crack out, and I'd have to start all over again. But I was lucky. Dan is one of the most kind-hearted and capable people I know. Like myself, he's self-unemployed, a working artist in the UK. Yeah, big thanks to him. I'm going to put a link to his website down in the description as well, so go along and see what he does. It's very similar to myself. He's also an artist and a performer and a maker and a doer. Yeah, he's got some lovely stuff on there. And so that's it really. I've got the lathe in place. I'm going to leave it for a few days just to settle. I'm going to take the shuttering off. Yeah, what's next? There's so much stuff to be done on this lathe really. The compound's got a huge amount of backlash in it, and I'm going to need to sort the bearings out, obviously level the ways, all that kind of stuff. So I'm not sure what's going to come up in part 3, and it'll probably be a wee while. I've got lots of other work and stuff happening. But yeah, eventually there'll be another video up showing the next part of me fumbling my way towards accuracy in machining. I hope this helps someone. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like if you like it, and don't if you don't. And I guess I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.